Hey everybody, it's Audrey from Country Stampers, and today I have this beautiful butterfly card for you. I'm going to show you how to make. So what you're going to need is, and all the measurements will be at the end of the video, as well as listed on my blog for you. So let me just zoom out here. We're using the crumb cake, and this measures 5.5 by 8.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. I also have a piece of chocolate chip, and this measures 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then I have a piece of Very Vanilla, and this is 3 1/4 by 5 inches. And then I have 2 pieces of scrap of the crumb cake in the chocolate chip, and both of these measures 3.5 by 3.5. And those we'll be using to cut out this butterfly using our butterfly Thinlits. So let's get started. And also the 2 stamp sets that we're using to create this card are Timeless Texture and Butterfly Basics. On the Timeless Texture, we're actually using quite a bit of the stamps. We're going to use this one, the Flourish, the Spiral, and we're also going to use these little splatter dots over here. Alright, so let's get started making this card. And I'm going to bring in the Very Vanilla and the crumb cake. And alright, so the first stamp is that grungy looking one, and we're just going to ink this up. Now you're going to notice that there's a little edge right there on the stamp. So we want to make sure that we are off the paper with that, so we don't have a mark on there. Alright, so I'm just going to line it up towards the bottom. And I'm just going to re-ink and stamp again. And I'm going to stamp across the bottom and up the side here. And I'm not worried about the overlapping. It just adds some more details to it. And this is such a quick and simple, beautifully card. So, alright, so we're not done with the crumb cake yet. Now we're going to bring in this little spiral, and we're going to ink this up. And we're going to come down here into the corner and stamp. And then we're going to come up just a little bit and off to the edge of the card. And there we go. So let's see what else. Alright, and then we're going to use the graph looking one here, and we're going to stamp that as well. And I'm going to stamp it right about here. And I'm going to ink one more time, and I'm going to come off to the side a little bit and stamp. There we go. Alright, so now I am done with the crumb cake. So let's bring in the chocolate chip. And let's bring in our birthday wishes. Happy birthday. And this is from the Butterfly Basics. So I'm going to actually line this up on my grid paper, which you can also get this grid paper right from Stampin' Up! In our annual catalog. So let's give that a good stamp. I like that. And then we're going to bring in our Flourish. We're going to stamp this up. And I'm just going to come down here to the edge, and I want to keep most of it on the card. So there we go. Now for our little splats. And I love these. I love adding these onto some of my cards. And I'm going to do some dark, and I'm going to do some light, just to give it some more dimension. And this is called the Stamp Off double stamping. So, and one more. There we go. So now we're all done with our stamping. So I'm going to set that aside, and I'm going to grab my framelit, and I'm going to go over to my Big Shot, and I'm going to cut out my 2 butterflies. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back, and now I'm going to show you our die brush tool that came out in our Occasions catalog. This is a great tool to have, especially when you're working with intricate designs, dies, like this butterfly. So you're going to lay it on this nice foam pad that it comes with, and you're going to take this brush with the bristles, and you're just going to go across the whole die, and it's going to go, the bristles are going to go into all the little crevices and the little holes, and push everything nice and easily out, and then your butterfly will come off the die like that. You might have some leftovers still attached, but they'll pop right out for you. So now that I have our butterflies done, we're going to start putting our card together. So I already have mine scored on the 4 1/4 mark, and I used my Stampin Trimmer to do that, and I'm just going to press down and make sure I got it nice and flat. And I'm going to take my chocolate chip here, and I'm going to add some snail adhesive. You could also use liquid glue if you'd like on this. I prefer to use the snail adhesive. So, and I'm just going to line this up, making sure it's even all the way around. And I'm going to bring in the vanilla, the very vanilla, and add this right to here. And now my card base is all together. And I'm just going to take a couple of glue dots, if I can find them. Here they are. And I'm just actually going to add one right here. And I'm going to line it up with the body of the crumb cake, like that. And I want to fold my wings up a little bit on my top butterfly. So I'm just going to push up a little bit, so that way it gives it a little bit of dimension. So now I'm going to take some dimensionals, and what is great is you can actually use almost every bit of these dimensionals. Well, you can. So across the bottom here, I'm going to cut one off here, and then I'm going to cut it again in half, and I'm going to add it to the back of my butterfly, and the other half I'm going to add to the top here. And now we're just going to add this right to the card base. And I want it right about here. And there we go. Now my card is ready to give out. Besides that, I still have to put a message inside. And you can either add another piece of the vanilla, the very vanilla in here, or just because the card base is a nice light color, you can write your message right on here for them. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's project, and that you guys come back again soon and stamp with me. Oh, here's a little reminder. Our Sale-A-Brations ends today. So you have until about 10 o'clock tonight to place your order to receive, you know, anything for a $50 purchase, you receive an item. So that ends this evening. So if you have been waiting to do that, you're going to want to do that tonight. Okay. So, and that also, the incentive that they had going on for joining Stampin' Up! For your kit, where you got an additional $30, also comes to an end tonight too. So now, after tonight, tomorrow we'll begin back to normal with our starter kit. For $99, you'll get $125 in product. So if you have been considering joining Stampin' Up! And you want to get that additional $30, I would do it tonight before 10 o'clock. So if you have any questions, my email is down below for you. Feel free to contact me, and happy crafting, everybody. Bye.